Hello friends, this is Caroline of Caroline's Plans. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my plan with me for this week. This week I am using a kit by My Perfect Plan on Etsy called Planner Lover. I really liked the planner girl vibe of this kit and the colors in it and the pops of gold were really pretty, so I wanted to use this kit to mark a productive week working in my planner. I did purchase the extra Fashion Girl boxes. I thought this one was really cute, the one that I put up in the top of the sidebar. This is my first spread in my new planner for 2020-2021, as is per usual with come July is when the new planners usually start for most people. Here I'm just building in my sidebar with that full box on top, a to-do header from the kit, and a 3-yard checklist. I like to put my sort of focus for the current week up top, and what I'm looking ahead to focus on for the following week under a next week header on the bottom of the sidebar. You see those yellow small stickies spread around my spread for this week. Those help to remind me where I wanted to put things, like items in my sidebar, and where I want to put the full boxes, and what order I want to put my bottom washi strips in. It's a little extra, it's a little bit of an extra step, but it helps me to organize my thinking and get through the base a little bit faster when I'm filming. If I've sort of done this pre-planning step, it makes things go a little bit quicker that way. In the sidebar, I'm also putting in 2 habit trackers to mark, I don't remember what I'm tracking. I think self-care and reading, or self-care and posting on Instagram. I don't remember which. You'll see that in a second. And then that half box is for my favorite moment of the week, or sort of my highlight from the week. And now we're going into the glitter headers, overlays or underlays, glitter underlays, and glitter header overlays. I've used a variety of different shops for setting up the rest of the base, so I'll have all the shops used for the base and the day-by-day linked down below, as well as any other tools that I'll be using. The whiteout that I used in the sidebar is by Bic. It is just an easy one off of Amazon. I know a lot of people in the planner community like the Tombow whiteout. I'll be looking into that soon, but I just using what I have for now. I did recently purchase yesterday on Amazon my first set of Undo, which I'm excited to start using. I could have used some in the base of this spread. You'll see in a minute I put down an extra bougie box that I didn't need and wound up covering it up with a full box anyway, which was kind of irritating. But yeah, so I'm just gonna set down the rest of the base and then get into the day by day. Again, all the shops will be linked below that I'm using in this spread. If you have any questions about where anything specifically is from, leave it in a comment below and I'd be happy to help. I did write out some things that I wanted to talk about in this voiceover. The first of which is I answered the questions in a collab that Rachel of Gathered Plans and Shani of Planning Like a Pro did recently. So I'll go ahead and go through those. Their channels will be linked in the description. The first question is, what has been your favorite memory so far this year? I had two things in mind for this. The first was the birth of my best friend's first son almost a year ago. I mentioned this in my planner spread tag or my planner throwback tag that I posted last week. His first birthday is coming up on August 28th. Oh, excuse me. So that was a really wonderful memory. Getting the pictures from after he was born and celebrating with her and getting to meet him soon after that. It's definitely been a highlight of the year thus far. Hopefully we'll be in a better place with COVID by the time his birthday does come around late August, so we can all celebrate together, hopefully, fingers crossed. My second favorite memory was my last day of school in person with my class. That happened back in March, about mid-March was when schools in my district closed because of COVID. Our last day of school was the week that included the 13th. I remember that because that's my husband's birthday, or maybe the week before that. I'm not sure, someday around there, but our last day of school that we were all together was definitely one of my fondest memories from this year. It was just a really wonderful day. It was one of the calmest days we'd had all year. For those of you who don't know, I teach preschool, so up until our last day together, we'd had some trouble with a couple students with behaviors and things, but our last day together it was wonderful. We had made some adjustments, and it was our first day with those adjustments, and it turned out beautifully, and I would go back and do it again in a heartbeat if I could, and I miss my kiddos, and I can't wait to see them again soon. So that was definitely another highlight from this year so far. The second question is, what talents do you possess that not a lot of people know about? That's definitely singing for me. I have been singing semi-professionally classical choral music for most of my life. It was a big part of my time at school. It was always my extracurricular activity of choice. I've been involved in a lot of community-based choral singing groups. I sang at the district level through my school several times. I love it. It's a wonderful way for me to be creative and to stretch my brain in a different sort of way that music does for a lot of people. I would love to get back into singing with a community-based group soon. again, probably definitely after COVID has settled down a little bit. I haven't been involved with a community group in quite some time, but I would like to get back into that for sure. Question 3, describe your partner in 3 words. Affectionate, hardworking, and quiet. My husband is very affectionate. We spend a good amount of time just connecting and just being together, and we really thrive off of just spending time together, and yeah, definitely that's one of his love languages. He is very hardworking. Sometimes I think he works too hard and too much. But he's getting recognized more for his hard work now, through work, which is nice. And he's just generally a quiet person with most people, particularly with people he doesn't know as well, which is similar to the way that I am. Obviously he's not quiet around me, but yeah, he's probably the most outspoken with me, but with most people he's pretty quiet and saves his words for when he can contribute, and he always has something good to say when he has something to say, which is nice, which is definitely something I appreciate about him a lot. Question 4, what is your love language? I have done the love languages assessment, whatever it's called. I forget what it's called. Feel free to let me know in the comments if you remember what the specific name of that whole love languages test is. It's escaping me right now. But my 2 predominant love languages are quality time and physical touch. I love to give and receive hugs. My husband and I both thrive on being together most of the time, and with my family and friends, I'm very huggy. I always said that I don't really have personal space with people that I'm close with. And it's because of that COVID has been especially hard. I haven't been able to see or be with my mom in person since March, or with anyone really except my husband since March. Hopefully that'll change soon. So that's definitely been hard. Because that is my predominant love language. So let's see. Question 5 is, what food do you dislike most and why? I don't particularly have a food that I have many foods that I can think of that I expressly dislike, I guess. For lack of a better answer, it would have to be meat. Just because I haven't eaten meat or seafood since I was about 10. I have been a vegetarian by choice since I was about 10. I used to be, crazy about it all. Like, I had like a meat is murder t-shirt in middle school and high school, but I'm not as crazy about it anymore like that. It's just sort of, being a vegetarian has just become more of a habit now and a health choice for me rather than a social, political call. Yeah, so I guess because I'm out of the habit of eating it, I'm just not a fan. Let's see. Number 6. What would you name your next pet? I would love to have a cat. Hopefully a female cat, so I can name it Zuzu. Name that movie. If you can name that movie and name that reference, we can be best friends for sure, and we can chat for sure. Zuzu. Yeah, name that movie. Um, let's see. Number 6, if you were a drink, what would you be? This is gonna sound really cheesy, but it's all I could think of. Warm milk. Did anybody else have warm milk when they were a kid, when they were having trouble going to sleep at night? Did anyone else's mom make them warm milk, or just as a treat in the wintertime? Did anyone else do the warm milk thing? Or is that just me? Yeah, warm milk, it's calming, it's a little bit sweet, and it's unassuming, and that's kind of how I think about myself, as cheesy as that might sound. Question 8. Is cereal a soup? Why or why not? I don't think it is a soup. I think cereal is its own, should be in its own category. I consider cereal in its own category. Same thing with, is a hot dog a sandwich? I said the same thing. I said that it is not a sandwich. I consider sandwiches to be in their own category, and hot dogs are kind of their own thing in my mind. So, it's because of that I don't consider hot dog sandwiches or cereal soups. Oh, here we go. I'm just remembering now that I did want to track me time and Instagram posts. Those were the 2 things that I tracked this week. I couldn't remember if it was reading or posting on Instagram. Alright, back to the questions. Number 10. This is the last question in the collab questions, the tag questions. What is the best type of cheese? This one was a hard one. I had 2 types of cheese for very different purposes. If I'm just gonna eat cheese by itself, or maybe with bread or something like that, a good goat cheese Gouda. If you haven't had it, try it. It's kind of sharp, but still really creamy and just delicious. The next one that I chose is mascarpone. I love mascarpone cheese. It's just soft and a little bit sweet. My favorite way to eat it is spread on toast with strawberries. Again, name that movie if you know the movie where I got the idea from for toast with mascarpone cheese and strawberries. We are going to be best friends. Name that movie in a comment down below. That's all I have for the questions from Shani and Rachel. Let's see. I had some other things that I just wanted to talk about for this plan with me. You may have noticed that I have a new intro. Yay! I wanted to give my videos a little bit of a spruce. I was getting a little bit tired of my intro music, so I had a little bit of extra time on Friday since I was ahead on my videos for this week. So I put that together really quick. The photo, in case you're wondering, is one that I took on a trip to visit my husband's uncle a few years ago. He has a beautiful public park near his home, and the picture was taken in the wintertime on one of our walks in that park. And so I took that picture. I just thought it was this beautiful scenery. I made I put together this picture and my thumbnails in PowerPoint. The music behind my new intro is one of the free tracks available through the YouTube audio library. I spent some time on Friday also going through that and picking out some music, so you may hear some new tracks on my videos coming up. Again, just wanted a little bit of a spruce and a little bit of a change. And I thought that the music and the new image would add to the sort of chill, serene vibe that I'm going for on my channel. Another new update on a personal note. I have started Weight Watchers, which is going really well so far. It is now Monday that I'm recording this voiceover, and I'll be posting this video on Monday. I started the Weight Watchers program, downloaded the app, did my first round of tracking things on this past Thursday. So I've been doing it for 5 days. This is my 5th day so far, and it's going really well. I'm really loving the flexibility and the fact that I can eat technically whatever I want. It's just about the main focus is just portion control of the things that aren't as good for you and focusing on eating more of the healthy things, which for me isn't too difficult. Being a vegetarian, I do like healthy foods. I guess that doesn't really have to do exactly with being a vegetarian, but in general I do like healthy foods. And it's also about, for me, about curbing my sweet tooth and finding ways to satisfy my sweet tooth in healthy ways, like fruit, or saving up my points for desserts when I want them and things like that. So it's going really well so far. If anyone who watches these videos is on Weight Watchers themselves, feel free to leave a comment below. We can chat, we can share ideas, support each other. I'd love to find a little team Weight Watchers in the planner community, if that exists. I have no idea, but that would be cool. So if anybody else is on their own Weight Watchers journey, leave a comment below and we can chat. Something else that's been going on this week, our air conditioning is still not working. We had a repair person come out late last week on Friday, I think. They said that the same issue still persists, and there was some issue with a fan that's not functioning properly, and now it's looking like the best option is to replace our entire AC system, which is going to be expensive, but we knew that it would happen at some point soon. For those of you who don't know, we purchased our first home, a condo, back right around Thanksgiving, just before Thanksgiving actually, and during the inspection of the home before we purchased it, the inspector said that our AC unit was, quote, nearing the end of its usable life, which was a little disconcerting, and in retrospect, I wish that we'd gotten it replaced before we purchased it so that we wouldn't have to bear the brunt of that expense. But, you know, we live and learn, and at this point we have two options. We can either replace the parts and the refrigerant also needs to be replaced, or we can just replace the entire system, which is probably what we'll do because it needs to be replaced soon anyway, so but that's just been something to deal with. Right now we have a portable AC unit set up in our guest room, and we've been sleeping and spending most of our time in there. I am currently in our master bedroom, the room without the AC, but it's not too hot since I'm doing this voiceover earlier in the day with our ceiling fan on, so it's not too bad. So hopefully that'll be resolved soon, once someone's able to come and give us a new AC, even though it's going to be expensive, but we knew it was an expense that was coming. I've been thinking about just sort of projects around the house, as a lot of us, I'm sure, have been. And one of the projects I'm looking to do is organize my planner stuff. Not necessarily stickers, but other things like my markers and my tools and my binders and things. I have them all kind of just shoved on this one shelf, and I've been meaning to organize it and make better use of that space. So if that's something you all will be interested in seeing a video on, I would be happy to do my best to film that process for you and get that up in a video. If you'd like to see more in detail about my collection of planner supplies and how I organize them on a larger scale, I would be happy to put that together for you all. As always, if you have any questions for me about anything personal, planner-wise, anything like that, leave them in a comment below. I would love to make it more of a regular thing to answer some of your questions in future videos. Also, leave any requests for future videos in a comment down below. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. As always, we are a small little community here on Caroline's Plans, but we are growing slowly but surely, and I'm really enjoying spending my time this summer and my time in quarantine just working on these videos. It gives me sort of a purpose for each day and something to focus on, and I'm really enjoying it. In case you're wondering, that last half box on Saturday I used to mark watching the fireworks for July 4th. That little emoji looking out the window was to mark the fact that my husband and I were able to see 3 or 4 different fireworks displays from our bedroom, from our bed. We live on the top floor of our building, so we have wonderful views of the outside, and we were able to see most of at least 3 different fireworks displays. I was sad that there weren't as many fireworks displays as there normally are. I'm not a big fan of fireworks from a noise standpoint, but I do like looking at them from far away, so seeing them from our house was nice. But there weren't as many as there normally are. I'm sure that's just because of everything going on with the virus and people not wanting to gather, but I know it seems like people still found a way to have their displays, I guess, in their yard or something to that effect. Let's see, what else did I put in that week? Oh, there, I'm just filling in a bill due. We paid our mortgage for the month on Thursday this week. I switched that out with a FaceTime script and icon. I had planned to FaceTime with one of my best friends on Thursday evening, but she wasn't able to, so we're going to reschedule. So I just put in paying our mortgage at the end of this day. And now I'm filling in the spread with some deco from the kit. I didn't use all of the deco. I used the pieces that I thought I wouldn't be able to use elsewhere, and then I plan on saving the rest to use in other spreads. Here I'm using some of that deco, the paper clips, to sort of fill in the gaps between the days, and on the top above the date covers. And now I'm filling in my sidebar for my favorite moment of the week. That positive thoughts script is from Letters to Apollo. My favorite moment was just being able to be productive. I set my intentions for next week in that 3-heart checklist. And here's the wiggle. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Peace, love, and happy planning. Bye-bye.